Hello everyone. Today we'll be looking at few questions on hashing. So our first question is find common elements from two arrays. So we have array A and array B. And we need to find out the elements which are common in both this array A and array B. How will we do that? For the function and pass both the arrays. We will create two frequency tables or let's say hash map. Currently it's empty. Then we'll iterate over each array of each elements of and update the frequency of that particular element. Then we will iterate over each element of B. Right? And now let's print it and see uh, what our frequency, our hash map will look like. If you see now, the frequency has p-value pair, right? So in array A, one has occurred two times and two has occurred two times. So we have one key and value two and two key and value two. That means one has occurred two times and two has occurred two times. Similarly for B, we have two, three, one, two. So two has occurred two times, three has occurred one time, and one has occurred one time. Well, now we need to find out the common elements. So how will we do that? We can iterate over any of the frequency table, either A or B. So we will iterate over the frequency of A, X frequency A, and we'll check if X is also in frequency B, right? I mean, if one is in A, then we will check if one is also in B. If so, then what we will do, we will take the one which is lesser. I mean, here there are two ones and here there are one ones. So the common one is only one, right? So we'll take the minimum element that we will create an answer variable, empty answer variable, and append it here. Answer dot extend x and the number of times it has happened, number of times. So minimum of frequency 8 x frequency b x, right? And then we will return answer. This answer will be print here. So if you see now, one has occurred two times in A and one time in array B. So we appended one time. Two has occurred two times in array A and two has also occurred in array B two times. So we appended two times in this array, right? So this is why we have printed 1, 2, 2. Next question that we have is unique elements. So here we are printing common elements. Now we'll print unique elements from one array itself. Let's just take one array A, 3, 5, two more values, and call this function with just A. So now what we need to do is there are repeating elements. One is repeating two times, two is repeating two times, but three and five are not repeating. So they are unique element, right? So what we will do, we will just create a frequency of this array, frequency A, and we don't need this answer variable. What we need is a result. Okay. For x in A, don't need this condition. What we will do. So we have created a frequency array of from this A, right? And now we will iterate over each element of A and check if frequency A of x equals 1. That means that element has occurred only one time. And in that case, we will just append our result with 1. So if you see now, we have 3 and 5 which are unique. So our answer should be 2, right? If you want, we can check our frequency elements as well. If you see, our hash map has 1 occurring 2 times, 2 occurring 2 times, 3 occurring 1, and 5 occurring 1 time, right? And we are checking the frequency of A, which is the value. If that is equals to 1, we will update our result with 1, right? Moving on to the next question, we have count pair difference. So for count pair difference, we are having two arrays, A and B. So one array and one we have an integer. Okay. So let's update our array. And have this integer 3, right? Now what we need to do, we need to figure out two unique I in j, right? So that A of I minus A of j equals to B. That means, let's take this example. If you see, we take 5 and 1. So our output would be 4, right? So 5 becomes A of I, 1 becomes A of j, and B is 4. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So let's see how we will approach this question. Again, we will do the same thing. We'll pass both A and B. And this part will remain common. We have this frequency. We are counting the frequency, right? And then we have this result as 0. Let's keep it as it is. Now what we will do is for x and frequency A. Now what we need is if we have 3, right? So see, if we have 3, the other element that we need element is 4 minus x, right? And that should be 3. So here what would be the x? So this should not be the correct equation. It would be x minus 3 equal to 4 because our b is 4. And we can do either 3 minus x or x minus 3. But if we do the 3 minus x, then that value would be greater and we'll have to take the absolute value. So instead, we will do x minus 3 equals to 4. So in that case, we will need so x becomes 7. So if we have one element 3, then the other element that we need is 7. And we will check if 7 is present in the frequency table or not. So 7 is not present. So in that case, we won't append anything. But then we move to 5. And for 5, then again we will do the same. So x minus 5 equal to 4. That would make x 9. Now, do we have 9 or not? So we do not have 9. So we will again skip the element. Then we will move to 1. Then we will do x minus 1 equal to 4. So x should be 5. Now 5 is present in our array, right? So this is one pair. With 5 and 1, we can make one pair where 5 minus 1 is. So let's approach this. So for this, what we need is, we need to count. If we have one value, we need to see what other value do we need. So for this, we will create a variable name, and then we will do x minus p. X is our current value, and current value minus p would give us the value that we need. Okay, and we will check if need is there in frequency. If yes, what we will do, we will append the result with the frequency of x and frequency of need. Why? Because all possible pairs of 5, if 5 is repeating multiple times and 1 is also repeating multiple times, so every possible 5 will make pair with every possible 1. So we will do frequency of x into frequency of need, and then we will return the result, which we are returning right now. Let's see. Okay, we are printing here 3 one time, 5 one time. You don't need to print it. Frequency of A. So here we can see 5 has occurred only one time and 1 has occurred only one time. That's why we have only one pair where A of I minus A of J gets the value B equal to 4. Right? That's it for today. See you.